Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Premier League predictions video. This is match day 27 of the Premier League. We've only got 11 more match days to go. It feels really fast, but of course, um, there's still some big games to come. For this week, I would say match of the week, we've got the likes of the Manchester Derby. Um, to a certain extent, you're looking at a game like Everton West Ham. It could be a decent game, but okay, it's realistically just one game really, which is the Manchester Derby as match of the week. But before we get into this week's predictions, we'll have to talk about what happened last week and how I did. Um, for the point system, if you guys don't know how this works, I get half a point for every team I predict to get the win, and I get 1 point for every correct prediction with the scoreline. So last week we had Chelsea Spurs, which was postponed due to the Carabao Cup game that Liverpool won. Great game, by the way. Liverpool men against boys. I mean, Chelsea are not really men, but to lose to a group that had some really unknown players. I mean, they will bring on players that I don't think anyone know except for Liverpool fans, like Dance, I think is his name, and Bobby Clark. These are some players that not many non-Liverpool fans will know. So, you know, that is absolutely incredible from Klopp and Van Dijk and his boys. As you know, I saw a lot on Instagram, but that game was postponed. So next up was Crystal Palace against Burnley. I predicted 2-0 Palace. It was 3-0, half a point, very close. Aston Villa against Nottingham Forest. I said 1-0. I thought it was going to be a small, narrow win. It was a 4-2 win. Manchester United, absolute howler. I thought, you know what, Fulham coming away to Old Trafford, they're not going to get anything from it. And guess what? They did. I said 3-1 Manchester United. It finished 2-1 Fulham. Brighton Everton, I said 2-1 Brighton. It was 1-1. Great point for Everton away at the MX Stadium. Bournemouth against Man City. I said 4-1 Man City. It was 1-0. Look, Man City win, but not very convincing. And I think that's the story for Man City in the last couple of weeks. And as of recording, they've just smashed Luton Town away, 6-2. Erling Haaland scoring 5 goals as well. But I think this is a Manchester City set that you can get at. And I think that, a team like Bournemouth and even Brentford and Everton in the last couple of weeks have showed that you can give them a game. And these are sides that are not even the top half of the table. They are probably the bottom half of the table as well. So pretty impressive. I've gone next, Arsenal Newcastle United. I said 3-2 Arsenal. It was 4-1. Great game by Arsenal. Last two games, Wolves against Sheffield United. I said 2-0 Wolves. If I'm not wrong, it was 1-0. And lastly, West Ham against Brentford, the late game. I said 1-1. It finished 4-2, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, didn't get that right. And obviously, there was a Liverpool against Luton Town game that I didn't predict because I didn't realize it had happened. So I apologize for that. That is 2.5 points. Consistency, the week before, match day 25, 2.5 points. Match day 24, 2 points. Match day 23, 2 points. But then obviously match day 22, 4 points. So it's coming down really. I want to get back up to the 3 points at least. I'm pretty sure the highest I've got this season is 4 points. It is. So, it would be nice. No, it's 6 points. It is 6 points. All the way back to match day 9. And of course I've had 5 points before. Match day 6, 5 points. Where else? I'm pretty sure I saw another one somewhere where I had 5 points. Or am I just hallucinating? I've had a couple 4 points. Match day 5 and match day 6, 5 points. Pretty decent. Let me see. Match day 15, 4 points. Match day 17, 4 points. Match day 22, 4 points. So you know, it's alright. But hopefully you can get back to like 3 points minimally. You know, it would be nice to get 6 points again. But based on how things are going right now, not really possible. Starting off, Newcastle United against Wolves. Newcastle United coming off of a back of a humiliating defeat to Arsenal. Um, Wolves playing really, really well at the moment. You know, they've got great players. Hwang Hee-chan, Pedro Neto, Sarabia, the front three. Joao Gomez in midfield playing really, really, really well. The defense is solid. Max Kilman, Craig Dawson, Totti Gomez, Nuri, Semedo, Jose Sa. That's a very good defense. They're balanced. Newcastle are all over the place. They've got their full team back, you know, but they just aren't playing the kind of way they were before they got on this injury. So it's gonna be tough. I'm gonna say a 2-2 draw. I think Wolves can get something out of this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they win. And I'm just saying, similarly, it could be another Newcastle inconsistent performance where they just go up and win 4-0. So you never really know what this game could be. But I'm going to say 2-2 for that. Next up, we've got Tottenham Hotspur against Crystal Palace. I think the fact that this is played at the Spurs Stadium is going to be huge. Obviously, Crystal Palace, you know, change of manager in Oliver Glasner, and they won against Sheffield United, which is expected. So I wouldn't get the hype and the expectations too high. So I'm going to say 2-1 Spurs. I think this is a very Spursy win if they do pull this off. Not dominating as much as they did towards the start of the season. In fact, I can't really think of many games that Spurs controlled the full game, and I don't think that's the way Ange and the team are, you know, setting the goal for themselves. I don't think the target is to dominate for 90 minutes. I think it's more of the kind of football, and it's about getting these, you know, wins. You know, the win is all that matters, and I think that is gonna be huge. Of course, they have a game in hand on Aston Villa. They're currently 5 points behind, if I'm not wrong, with a game in hand. So if a win, if I'm not wrong, could bring them back to 2. If I'm not wrong, yep. But of course, they do have to beat Chelsea away. But I'm gonna go 2-1 Spurs. Nottingham Forest against Liverpool, City ground. But I think Liverpool are just gonna come away with a win. 2-0 Liverpool. Next, we've got Brentford against Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea have just won in the last minute against Leeds United. Brentford, on the other hand, at home, they've played pretty decently ever since Tony has come back. I expect him to score in this game. You know what? I'm gonna say 2-1 Brentford. I can just see Chelsea losing this kind of game. I can just see it. Everton West Ham, Goodison Park, huge for Everton. The 10 points deduction has now become 6. This could help them or hurt them, because now they could think that, oh, we're safe now. But similarly, it could push them to carry on to finish 14th, 15th. But West Ham coming off of the back of a 4-2 win against Brentford. I'm actually going to go with a... I don't want to go with a draw because it's so niche. It would be so easy to go 1-1 right now. This is so tough. I'm going to go 3-2 West Ham. I just think that you never know. And that's going to be my punchy shot of the week. Fulham against Brighton. This is very interesting. Brighton coming off of a back off. I forgot. Who did even play? A draw against Everton. Fulham coming off of the back of a win. 1-1. This is what we call, has a draw written all over it. Again, I could see Fulham winning this. Luton Town against Aston Villa. I know Aston Villa have had this so-called curse away from home. But if you look at the stats and their last few games, look at their last 6-7 games, right? They've actually played better away from home than at home, and that's crazy to think because Villa Park is such a fortress. Because of that, I'm gonna go 3-1 Aston Villa. I do think that they'll get the job done, and continue putting the pressure on Spurs. Burnley against Bournemouth. Burnley obviously losing against Crystal Palace. Bournemouth just lost literally against Leicester City in the FA Cup, and obviously lost to Man City, but it's Man City. 2-2. I'm gonna go with another 2-2 draw. But I think that Burnley can sneak something at home. The big one, the Manchester derby. It's gonna be an interesting game. I think Manchester United are gonna win. Absolutely, just joking. Man City will win. I don't think it's gonna be a 6-0 win. I don't think it's gonna be a huge win because we've seen for Man City, and as I said, this is a side that recently, I wouldn't say I've lost that kind of domination, but I would say that for some reason they've started slowing down, but also picking up the kind of results that they need. Because of that, I'm gonna go with 4-2. I expect a high-scoring game. I know Manchester United, don't really score goals, but I can just see maybe like a penalty from Bruno Fernandes, and maybe just a goal from maybe Garnacho or something. But I think Man City will dominate. Foden playing well. Erling Haaland back. Kevin De Bruyne. This is a very, very good side. And lastly, Sheffield United, Bramall Lane against Arsenal. What the problem here is that Arsenal are playing so well. They're scoring so many goals that you don't know when the steam's gonna run out. The last time they played Sheffield United, they won 5-0, and they've scored 4 goals against Newcastle, 5 goals against Burnley, 6 goals against West Ham. So you can't use the away from home thing against them because they've scored 11 goals away from home in the last 2 Premier League away games, right? Against a Burnley side that are similar to Sheffield United in terms of they're going to be in a relegation zone and might get relegated. And West Ham, a physical side. So in that regard, I'll go 3-0 Arsenal. I'm not going to say 6-0. I could see Arsenal winning this by a huge margin. It could be a 5-0. It could be. But I'm just going to say 3-0. I was tempted to say 4-0. But I'm just going to say 3-0. But let me know what your thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the button if you did. Subscribe to the channel on already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.